Sorry, I forgot to switch on the audio. Right. Is the screen visible? Any one of you?
Yes, sir.
Right. We'll continue from this topic, RLC series circuit. Okay. So yesterday we have seen this. Okay. Your 5 volts DC source and 5 volts, 10 root 2 sine t AC source both are connected to 1 ohm and 1 Henry. So what is the meter reading? We solved yesterday, we discussed that problem. So coming to today's topic, RLC series circuit. What is RLC series circuit? Your resistor, inductor and capacitor. These three are connected in series. What is the phasor diagram that we will see? So in the previous classes, we have seen your RL circuit and RC circuit. Today, the combination of RL and C. Resistance, inductance and capacitance. Okay, in the RLC series circuit, V is equal to VR at an angle of 0 plus VL at an angle of 90 plus VC at an angle of minus 90 degrees. Okay, your resistance at an angle of 0 and your inductance at an angle of 90 degrees, your capacitance at an angle of minus 90 degrees. We have seen already in the yesterday's class. We discussed why this is plus 90 degrees, why it is minus 90 degrees. Those phasors we have drawn and we have discussed everything. Okay, let's say your V is equal to I into Z, your VR is equal to I into R, your VL is equal to J into IXL, and your VC is minus J into IXC. So if you take I as common, R plus J into XL minus XC. I and I cancel on the both sides. Then finally you left with the expression your Z is equal to R plus J into XL minus XC. Right. So similarly, similar to the previous cases for RL and RC, so we can construct same impedance triangle, voltage triangle, power triangle. This is R component. This is XL minus XC component. This is VL minus VC component. Okay. And your power triangle, your active power, your apparent power, and your reactive power, all these combinations. Okay, the same expressions, your theta is equal to tan inverse of imaginary component by real component. Your imaginary component is XL minus XC by real component. Your theta is equal to tan inverse of VL minus VC by R and all such components. Okay. So what he's mentioning, we can digest this concept by solving more number of problems. The problem is voltage across resistance and inductance is 5 volts and voltage across capacitance is 8 volts. Then what is the total voltage? Okay, what is the total voltage? So can anybody tell how to solve this problem? Okay, so all of you just follow here. So voltage across resistance and inductance. The total combination is 5 volts and only voltage across resistance is 3 volts. And what is the only voltage across inductance? Of course it must be 4 volts. Why it must be 4 volts? Because voltage across inductor and capacitor combination is root of voltage across resistor VR square plus VL square. In that combination you can obtain your VL is equal to 4. Okay. So what is the total voltage across RLC combination? We have seen that expression. Your total voltage V is equal to VR square plus VL minus VC square. Okay, VR square is 3 square plus 4 minus 8 whole square, which is equal to root of 3 square plus 4 square, which is equal to 5 volts. Surprisingly, voltage across resistance and inductance is 5 volts. The total voltage across resistance, inductance and capacitor is also 5 volts. Total supply voltage itself also 5 volts. Next, another problem. So voltage across your resistance is 5 volts. Voltage across your inductance is 20 volts. What is the voltage across capacitance? If the total supply voltage is 13, then 13 square is equal to, okay, 13 is equal to root of 5 square plus 20 minus voltage across capacitance whole square. So in that, this is, if you square on the both sides, it should be 169 minus 25. This should be on the other side, 144. 144 is equal to VL minus VC. Okay. Then if you solve that expression, VR square is equal to VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. Then it should be equal to your plus or minus 12. So VC is equal to either 32 or 8. Both the chances will be there. In any such case, if it is 32 also, the difference is 20 minus 32, the magnitude is 12. If it is 8, 20 minus 8, the magnitude is 12. Ultimately, you are squaring this expression, whether it is minus 12 or plus 12, that doesn't matter. So the capacitance voltage may be 32 volts or capacitance voltage is maybe 8 volts. Any possibility is there. Do you follow this problem? Or shall I repeat? Did you follow or shall I repeat? Any one of you? Do you understand this problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is a simple way. Based upon the simple problem, you solve that. Next one is RL parallel circuit. What is RL parallel circuit? Previously, we have seen your resistance and inductance both are connected in series with the supply. But here your resistance and inductance connected in parallel with the supply. This is the phasor diagram. Okay. The same. There, for the series circuit, voltage is same. Your total voltage is equal to voltage across resistance plus voltage across inductance. Your V is equal to VR plus VR. But here, this is the current expression. Your I is equal to IR plus IL. Okay. Your I is equal to IR plus IL. IR at an angle of 0 plus IL at an angle of minus 90 degrees. Your I is equal to V by Z, which is equal to V by R plus V by XL at an angle of minus 90 degrees. Okay. The same expression, your voltage across your current through resistance is equal to voltage across it divided by resistance and voltage across it divided by that inductance. So that you can written as your voltage is equal to Vg minus J into VBL. You can convert into the susceptance form or any such form. Where G is the conductance, units are reversed to the resistance. Resistance is ohm, opposite to that is mho. The reverse, if you write of mho, is nothing but ohm. Okay, that angles. Okay. Your admittance angle, your current angle, instead of voltage triangle, you are having current triangle. Instead of this is admittance triangle. So previously we are having voltage triangle. Instead of that, we are having current triangle. Previously we are impedance triangle. Instead of that, we are having admittance triangle. The power triangle will be the same. So these are the expressions. Expressions are the same. Your theta is equal to tan inverse of B by A. According to that expressions, we can note down. So similar to that RC parallel circuit, your R and C components, resistance and capacitance are connected in parallel. Your I is equal to IR plus IC. So which is equal to V by Z is equal to V by R plus V by XC at an angle of 90 degrees. The same thing, the expression here, resistance square plus capacitance square, your current and your admittance triangle and your power triangle. Your RLC parallel circuit, your IR at an angle of 0, IL at an angle of minus 90 and IC at an angle of 90 degrees. In the case of RLC series circuit, your voltage, your VC at an angle of minus 90 degrees, VL at an angle of plus 90 degrees. Because coming to current leads here. In the case of capacitor, voltage lags. So like that, they are the reverse according to the expressions we discussed previously. So IR at an angle of 0, IL at an angle of minus 90 degrees and IC at an angle of plus 90 degrees. Your I is equal to V by Z and IR is equal to V by R and your IL is equal to V by XL and your IC is equal to V by XC. This expression G plus J into BC minus BL. So your RC parallel circuit. Find the value of IC of the current shown in figure. See your the total current expression I is equal to root of IR square plus IC minus IL square. Okay. The total current through IR and IC is 13 root of IR square plus IC square. So from that your IC is equal to 12. So the total current expression is I is equal to root of IR square plus IC minus IL whole square. So this is similar to the just now we have solved series RLC circuit. There we solved for the voltage. Your voltage is divided. So we are working for total voltage. So similarly here current divided in parallel circuit. So we have to work for the current. Your current I is equal to root of IR square plus IC minus IL whole square, IL whole square. So that is the way to find out the expression. So similar type of problems that you can solve. So locus diagrams is anyhow it is not there in your syllabus. Next we'll go to the next topic, resonance. Okay. Next topic is resonance, of course. So after certain topics, one particular day we will solve only the problems. One particular day we will solve only the problems. In meanwhile, every day we will solve 1 or 2 problems. One particular day we will consider that complete 1 hour we will solve only the problems. Coming to the topic of resonance. So what is the resonance? Any one of you? So today rule number 2 is not there. Okay. Okay, any one of you, do you know any information about the resonance? Okay. So coming to the concept of resonance, let me tell you a simple theory behind it. So whenever your natural frequency is equal to the damping frequency, the concept of resonance will come into the picture. For few applications means, so while we studying, they use it to tell these applications, but for you, whether I can tell that application whether you understand or not, long back radios are there. The radios, we use it to change their frequency. At one particular frequency, what happened? You will get the signal, and that Vizag station or Vijayawada station, Warangal station, Hyderabad station, that you will get one particular frequency, Red FM or something, whatever. In recent times also, if you go to the Hyderabad local FM centers, Red FM 92.7 FM, 98.3 SFM, something like that. So many FMs. So what is this frequency? So in long back, in my childhood days, the radios are used to there. If we change some disturbance, complete disturbance, slowly some voice, some clear voice. At what particular time? Complete clear voice. So how it will change? Because if you change the frequency at one particular frequency, the signal tuned. At that particular resonant frequency, you will have the maximum amplitude of signal strength you will get. So that is nothing but resonance. The physical, this is electrical resonance, the physical phenomena of resonance. Generally, people use it to advise, do not march on bridges. If you march on the bridges, then what happened? If you march on the bridges, the marching frequency and the natural frequency of the bridge coincides, means it will oscillate with the maximum amplitude and the bridge may collapse. So they use it to advise. So like that, several examples for the resonance. Okay, coming to the electrical resonance concept wise, when inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance, where XL is equal to XC. What is XL? L omega. What is XC? 1 by omega C. So what happened if you L omega is equal to 1 by omega C, when your XL is equal to XC, then L omega is equal to 1 by omega C, then your omega is equal to 1 by root LC. What is omega? 2 pi F. Your F is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC. That particular F is called FR. That is called the resonant frequency. Okay, the frequency at which your inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance, then it is called as resonant frequency. The resonant frequency indicates the rate at which energy transformation is done between the inductor and capacitor. Okay, that's what just now I mentioned. At resonance, your inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance, your XL is equal to XC, then your IXL is equal to IXC, your L omega is equal to 1 by omega C. That particular frequency is omega naught or omega R or FR, resonant frequency, which is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC. This particular frequency is called the resonant frequency. In series RLC circuit, at resonance, you will have the maximum current. Okay, in series RLC circuit, at the time of resonance, you will have the maximum current. Why you will have the maximum current? Can any one of you tell? Can any one of you tell why we will have the maximum current in the series resonance? Series RLC circuit at the time of resonance, why you will have the maximum current? Any one of you there, first of all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. I'll tell you the reason. If you know, you can answer, otherwise I'll tell you the reason. What is expression for current? Current I is equal to V by Z for series RLC circuit, yes or no? Current I is equal to V by Z. What is Z? Your impedance Z is equal to R plus J into XL minus XC. When XL is equal to XC, simply I is equal to V by R. I is equal to V by R. Your numerator value is completely very minimal value, just R only present. The rest of the components are absent. So you will have the maximum current. So resonant circuit is pure resistive circuit. The power factor is equal to 1. Okay. Your Z is equal to R because Z is equal to R plus J into XL minus XC. Okay. Your XL is equal to XC means that reactive power components, everything is absent. Then your Z is equal to R. What is your power factor? R by Z. Then Z is equal to R, R by R. It's a pure 1 power factor, unity power factor. Okay. Right. The same expression is as given. The condition in the at the time of resonance, what will happen? Your Z is equal to, it will have the minimum value. Your Z is equal to R because XL is equal to XC. I is maximum because V by Z minimum value. So V by R, then your power factor is unity. Your VR is equal to V because total voltage is only voltage across resistor, and your reactive power components. I already mentioned your resistor deals with active power. Your inductor and capacitor deals with reactive power. Okay, your resistor deals with active power. Your inductor and capacitor deals with the reactive power. See, your XL is equal to XC means your total reactive power components are 0. Then your total reactive power voltage is equal to 0. Only voltage present in the circuit is voltage across resistance only. So applications, your oscillators, filters, tuning circuits, induction heating, and all such things will work upon this phenomena called the resonance RLC. Okay. You just observe here the capacitance frequency, inductive frequency. At this particular moment, what happened? Both will coincide. Your inductive and capacitance. At this point, you will have the maximum current at this instant. So before that frequency, that is the capacitive frequency. After that frequency, it is the inductive frequency. Your inductance will dominate your at this component. Let's say this is the resonant frequency. Beyond the resonant frequency, your inductance will dominate. Below the resonant frequency, your capacitance will dominate. How you will come to know? Simply, your Xc is equal to 1 by omega C and your XL is equal to L omega. If you keep on increasing the frequency, your inductance value will increase and your capacitance, your inductive reactance component is going to increase and your capacitive reactance component is going to decrease. So finally, they will coincide at a resonant frequency. After that, If only your inductive reactance component, okay, increases, so the circuit is inductive in nature. And of course, below the resonant frequency, it is capacitive in nature, and after the resonant frequency, it is inductive in nature. Simple phenomenon. That's what he is mentioning. Okay, you know about the inductive frequency. VL is equal to I into XL. XL is equal to L into omega. Your omega is 2 pi f. 2 pi f L into L. So at frequency is equal to 0, your XL is equal to 0. At frequency is equal to infinity, your XC. At frequency is equal to 0, your inductive reactance is equal to 0, your capacitive reactance is infinity. Why? Because your capacitive reactance is X is equal to 1 by omega C, 1 by 2 pi Fc. When F is equal to 0, you have the infinite inductive capacitance. When F is equal to 0, you have 0 inductive reactance. Based upon that, at low frequency what happened, at high frequency what happened. Just now I told you, below the cut-in frequency, that means below the resonant frequency, it acts like capacitive circuit, and after that it will act like a inductive circuit. Your inductive frequency dominates. Okay, and we'll have the important thing called the quality factor. What is a quality factor? Quality factor Q is equal to 2 pi into maximum energy stored in the circuit divided by power dissipation per cycle. Okay, Q is equal to 2 pi into maximum energy stored in the circuit divided by power dissipation per cycle. Your I of t is equal to Im sin omega t, and your Vc is equal to 1 by c integral of I of t dt. So that expressions we have seen, where L is equal to omega square c. If you calculate finally, quality factor is nothing but XL by R. You do not require all these derivations, but you must require the formula to solve the problems in the GATE or any competitive exams. Your quality factor formula is equal to Q is equal to XL by R, your inductive reactance by resistance. Otherwise, you can call it as VL by VR. For series circuit, current is same. So you can written as this one I into XL by into R, which can be as VL by VR. L is equal to Vc. From that expression, you can obtain another. Right. Next important phenomena, if you discuss about the resonance, the important phenomena that you require is the bandwidth. What is the bandwidth? The bandwidth means when the curve is drawn between current versus frequency, then the curve is called the resonance curve. Okay. This is your resonance curve. This is your resonance curve. The resonance curve means frequency versus current. If you change the frequency, will the current will get effect? Definitely it will get effect. What is your current formula? I is equal to V by Z. What is your Z? R plus J into XL minus XC. What is your XL? L into 2 pi F. What is your XC? 1 by 2 pi FC. So your Z is R and XL XC combination. In that XL and XC, both will change. Both depends on the frequency. So definitely your current, the series RLC circuit, your current depends on the frequency. So here is the graph drawn between frequency versus current. Okay, this is a resonance curve, frequency versus current. The frequency versus current, and one particular frequency called the resonant frequency, you will have the maximum current. I already mentioned in the beginning, where I is equal to V by Z. Z is minimum at resonant frequency because of your XL is equal to XC at the time of resonance. Then you will have the maximum current at the time of resonance. You will have the maximum current at the time of resonance. Then this is the maximum current I max. What is RMS value? I by root 2. Yes or no? You have seen what is RMS value, how to calculate the RMS value, area under the curve by base integration of under square under root integration of 1 by time period from 0 to time period. The integration of that curve we have seen. So in that, for the sinusoidal expression for the maximum value, your voltage V is equal to V max. What is RMS value? V max by root 2. Your I is equal to I max. What is RMS value? I max by root 2. So this is RMS value. You just draw the curve like this. So, and this is, if you draw a curve towards the frequency, this is a lower cutoff frequency F1. This is the upper cutoff frequency F2. This F2 can be also called as FH, higher frequency or upper cutoff frequency, and your F1 is nothing but your FL or lower cutoff frequency. So the difference of these two frequencies, your bandwidth is equal to F2 minus F1, otherwise FH minus FL. Okay. We already discussed before the cut-in frequency, capacitive in nature, and after the cut-in frequency from F0 to F2. What happened? More than F0 means it is inductive in nature. Below that it is capacitive in nature. That's what he is mentioning. Your impedance angle, tan inverse of XL minus XC by R or X. That X may be XL minus XC or whatever. So this is the leading. Why it is leading? So below cut-in frequency, it is capacitive in nature. We have seen in the beginning. Why it is capacitance also I mentioned. So the power factor must be leading power factor. So below resonant frequency or cut-in frequency, the power factor is the leading power factor. After cut-in or resonant frequency, the power factor is the lagging power factor. So what is your power? F naught, your power is equal to I max square by I square R. So I max square into R. So at F1 and F2, your power is I max by root 2. So at F1 and F2, your power is exactly half of the power at the resonant frequency. You just see here. This is at F0. Your power is I square R. This I is I max. Here, the current is I max by root 2 whole square into R. So the total power is I max whole square by 2. The total power is divided by 2. So here F0, the power may be, let's say, P. Then at F1 and F2, the power is at P by 2. Exactly half of the power when you have at the resonance. That's what he mentioned. Power at F1 and F2 is half of the power at F0. At F1 and F2, at both the time, you will have the same power of half of the maximum value that you get, that you obtain at the time of resonance. This is the bandwidth I already mentioned, F2 minus F1 or upper cutoff frequency minus lower cutoff frequency, which can be written as R by 2 pi L or R by L. Quality factor is XL by R, I already mentioned, where XL is nothing but L omega. That is at the time of resonance, you can write omega as omega naught, which is nothing but 2 pi F. These are some of the objectives. Okay, so this is a series RLC circuit with the AC source. If you apply just differential equation, this is I into R, this is L into di by dt, and this is 1 by C integral I dt. If you differentiate and if you go to the expression, and finally this is a second order equation, and you can obtain your quality factor also as Q is equal to 1 by R into root L by C. Quality factor is equal to XL by R. Like that, you can have several expressions for the. And if you compare with the damping factor, okay, zeta, damping ratio, zeta, damping factor zeta is equal to R by 2 into root C by L. So in that case, your damping factor in control systems, you might have seen the damping factor, right? You have the subject called the control systems. Do you have the control system subject? Right. For series RLC circuit, what is the damping ratio? Zeta is equal to R by 2 into root C by L. Okay. So in that way, you can relate your damping factor to your quality factor. Zeta is equal to 1 by 2Q. Because your zeta is equal to R by 2 into root C by L. That derivation you might have done in the control systems. The same thing. Take a series RLC circuit, apply Laplace transforms or apply differential equations, and you can obtain the expression. Second order differential equation, it is series RLC circuit. You will get the expression as some s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square is equal to 0. the characteristic equation of the second order equation, the series RLC circuit. From that you can obtain the expression for zeta, damping ratio. I do not want to mention much about the damping ratio. You know about the damping ratio. When damping ratio more than 1, it is overdamped system, less than 1 underdamped system, zeta is equal to 0 undamped system. Okay, zeta is equal to 1 critically damped system. So like that. So your characteristics of the systems can be identified and can be illustrated with the help of damping ratio. It is having more significance. So for the series RLC circuit, you can apply either Laplace transform or differential equation. You will get the characteristic equation is s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square is equal to 0. Okay, so we can stop this point and let me stop the recording, and if you have any doubt we can discuss. Let me just give me a minute. Let me. Okay, now you can tell me if you have